Good morning, traders. Today is Thursday, April 17, 2025. Sorry, I started a little later than normal here. We are going to be looking at the markets together here. Before I do that, let me get into the disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. This is not a recommendation to buy or sell any futures contract or foreign exchange contracts. So just know that trading is difficult and that things will not, there's no guarantee you'll make any money. So just make sure, this is not for educational purposes only. Looking at this market here, I'm looking at, for example, LE. Looks like we're going to go lower here. What I'm going to do is put in order to go short here. Yeah, I wanted to go short at 202.57 half, and I didn't drag my stop entry up earlier. I just had it. So thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Jimmy. Thank you for being here. So we just went short early here. This is a less. This is a worse entry than I wanted. I wanted to go 57 half, but at this point we're gonna just see how it goes here. Because we're looking at this market going lower. If we break this resistance and go above the VWAP, obviously we don't want to be in this trade anymore. So we have a stop up there. Let's see how it goes. Definitely gap up. What we're looking at here. And also today is more like a Friday trading wise because tomorrow the market is closed tomorrow completely. So looking at this here, I'm looking at the fact that we gap up, we couldn't more higher, we get some selling pressure here. So they're gonna try to close that gap and then some come back down toward the support level. So that's why we're short here. As far as go and look at ES, yes, it looks like the last 9 minutes, the last only 15 minutes been a back and forth here. And this range 28 and 13, which is a fairly big range. But nowadays 15 points on ES is really not much. Right now definitely gonna be, I think the bearish side of the market, that would be the one I would favor here. Going low. Make sure I get the right. Again, they're pushing toward the VWAP here. And there's a trend line here on the 3 minute. They're coming too. So definitely could see some selling coming up here on ES. In the meantime, though, they're pushing higher. Overnight, higher. I know ES is going higher right now at the moment, but seeing a push down on ES here would not be a surprise. They may blow past this resistance too, but right now, I would say yes. Still, when I would tell it, yes. And again, yes, they're pushing higher here, but again, I'm not trusting this push high. Till maybe we get above 40, but even then, 42 maybe. Good morning, Noah. Glad that you are green on LE. Yeah, we just shorted LE at the stream started because, as a matter of fact, I got a bad entry. I put my stealth stop down here. I was gonna drag it up to 57 half, and I didn't have a chance to do so. But I think right now, looking at LE on the bigger picture, we gapped up. Let's go to LE. We gap up on it, but we could have sustained anything up there. We started selling. So I think here below the VWAP here, if we go above here, obviously we want to be out of this trade, but I believe we can still go lower here and get to this swing. There's a swing down here that they may want to come to. Again, my order was there. It's not like I got a bad feel. My order, I didn't have a chance to drag it up, but right now, definitely we're looking to sell it. I mean, we're in the sell. ES, I would keep an eye on ES here for a short. Because ES is definitely getting to the point where going short here on ES could be something, Because above 42, we can say, hey, no, short is no longer valid. But right now, we definitely have resistance. Resistance here on ES. So, Noah, did you take some long trades on LE? Is that what it was? Or was it a short? Was it a couple of shorts? 2 longs? Okay. We opened long here, we went long. Once again, I think for me, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit here, but I think we might survive this. because obviously if we break this up here, we don't want to be part of the trade anymore. My entry was supposed to be at 57.5. I think what we're experiencing here is that second pullback I usually talk about here. We got a first pullback, then we got a second one. Where's that second one going? We don't know. So really, waiting for that second pullback would have been ideal, but like I said, I put my stop down here thinking, okay, I'm gonna drag it up, and then came back and tagged me in to the tick. I usually go max contract 3 on this. Just like if we get a push down here, 62.5, add one contract to it. Maybe not. Again, today's the last trading day for the week. Tomorrow will be Good Friday. If you celebrate Good Friday, definitely have a good time. I mean, have a great time in celebrating that and really remember it on the cost. Also, we got Easter coming right up, Easter Sunday. Again, it's a great celebration. There you go. Once again, amen. Yeah. So, let's see what we do here. We're down 13 ticks or 14 and a half ticks. So I believe we got fill in at two different prices. We got fill at 45 and 47 and a half. That's why you see it's like, all right, I think the ES here, the lower move is starting out. All right, we got fill here on LE. If you short ES, definitely it's a good thing here. I think we may try a short here on MNQ. Let's see what's going on. It looks like good thing I didn't go short on MNQ. Push right up, or is it going higher to go lower? That could be it too here. It's like a retest of those of this swing. Honestly, at the moment, because we didn't see the push down here, I think there's a good chance we're moving higher here. We're above VWAP. A lot of resistance coming up though. Lots of resistance up there. We're seeing a little bit of down here on lots of resistance. Let's just sell the limit here on NQ. No, let's get into YM, MYM. So as close to the resistance as possible. Again, if they take this high out, we obviously don't want to be in this trade. We want to push down here on the indices. All right, is the push down on ES is pushing down here. Also, some buyers still here. It's a big back and forth here at the moment. So we're gonna break this pivot here. Or will we? Let's see. All right, Noah, thank you so much for being here once again. Thank you for your support. Easter, have a good weekend. And once again, I won't be streaming next week because my wife and I are gonna go a little mini vacation next week. So just know that I will not be streaming next week, trading next week. Like right now, the MYM trade will probably be taken out here. 60 ticks, stop. Again, YM, I used to trade it with 20. I had to adjust my stop size here with YM. Again, we're trading the micros, so which is a stop loss here. It's very, very, very little damage to our account. There we go, pushing lower, yeah, pushing lower. I think we have a little bit of a delay on MYM. Let me see. There you go. Looks like we're gonna get to our first target here. Yeah, about 7. We got within 7 ticks. Okay, we got the first target. We're seeing a push down also on live cattle here. Well, we're pushing lower here. Let's see if we can get to that second target on the MYM. LE here. Get to it made a new low. I should expect some kind of pushback here toward VWAP again and come back down. Because I was trying to, I think people are taking profit here. That's what this is. We should see another push down here. On ES, I'm looking at the bottom left chart. Order flow saying, hey, we're pushing lower here. Negative deltas here. For LE again, we should expect a pushback here toward our entry. And toward this band here before going lower, if we're gonna go lower, because 265 is resistance or support at this particular juncture here. Now it's gonna possibly become resistance. So if you're watching, let me know what are you trading, how things are going for you out there. I'm taking 2 trades so far. One that hit the first target, and the second here. The second is gonna still around break even. Once again, we're not gonna panic here. As long as we don't take out this swing, we'll be good in LE. I think we have a definitely chance to push down here. toward the previous swing that happened here yesterday. All right, let's see here on let's see how we do here on ES. Once again here with the volatility in this market, we may come back up here and tag us out. And if this happened, I wouldn't be surprised, but we get the first target at least. Again, this is a real small trade as far as dollar wise. Good amount of ticks. And if you trade, if you copying your trades from one account to the other, just multiple accounts like I do have, you can small trade like this can definitely be amplified, can be multiplied. When it's a win, it's a good thing, but obviously when it's a loss, it's not so good. So yeah, right at the VWAP here, RTH VWAP. So I think I should expect, as long as we don't take out 36 on ES, even 40, I would say we're still in that down. This is to me more like a retracement still. We're retracing to go lower. That's just my opinion, but definitely could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. That's part of trading, Being wrong is part of trading. You're gonna be wrong, and you gotta learn how to be wrong and know when you are wrong to get out. That's why we got stop losses to say, hey, if the market trades at this level here, we want to be out. That means we were wrong. Now here, we almost got taken out to the high. This guy was 19 and my stop is at 20. So we were fortunate enough not to be taken out here. Let's see if we can push down here and get to the second target. Within one tick of my stop. Again, if you buy ES here, going in here, right now you're definitely upside down. You're down 7 points, 7, 8 points. This is the thing with the market. You gotta know, okay, what's the prevailing trend? What's the major trend here? What they're trying to do? What's happening? But the market's always trying to tell you a story, and also know what not to do. When we're going up high up here, I'm like, you know what? This is a resistance. We got a trend line here. Order flow is showing some signs of sellers really getting stronger. So we didn't buy, We didn't buy MYM because at that point MYM was over here, even though we had a green background. Sometimes we gotta see the move. You have to see the move before it happens. Now, they're trying to predict what the market is doing, but we just know certain principles in the market, how it works. We know, hey, there's a good chance here we can push down here. And remember, this market was higher. Let me go back to the 30 minutes here on the bottom right chart. This market was higher overnight, and yesterday we just have definitely had a bearish day yesterday. So all this to me was people inducing people going long, and once the European market, the market was lower, they keep pushing it lower. So this big candle here to me was a overnight. People was just trying to at the open buying back what they sold up here. And then when they get to this fair value gap, what happened? Boom. Basic principles of the market: you buy at support, you sell at resistance. Now, we don't know what's going to happen after that. It doesn't mean, hey, every time you buy at support, the support's going to hold or the resistance is going to hold, because eventually they'll be broken. But you have to know, don't trade the market. The odds are in the favor of the market going low when we get back to this level. And this is the same thing that happened here at 927. So now, for example, a trade like MYM, you got within one tick of my stop. Not being stopped out here, was a little bit of luck by not being stopped. Not saying the market is all luck, but sometimes you gotta get fortunate. You can be fortunate enough where they get within one tick of your stop and you don't get stopped out, and then now you're gonna go ahead and get 120 ticks. So if we get to the target, he'll be 120 ticks, which is about to happen at any moment. Any moment we're gonna hit the target. There you go. Just hit the target. So you just gotta know how to play this game. And some days you're gonna feel like, hey, I can't miss. But also some days you're gonna feel like, wow, I'm cursed. This market is just not doing what I think it's gonna do. And that's why The most powerful thing you can do in trading is waiting for the setup to happen. Sometimes you may get in a little later than you wanted, but trying to play the weatherman with this market sometimes can be tricky. So one of the books in the book in trading I like a lot called "Trade What You See." I think it's Larry Pesavento that wrote it. Trade what you see. Let me Google it. Now I'm curious again. Trade what you see in this market. Yeah, it's Larry Pesavento. Pesavento. That's the only thing we can tell. You don't have no crystal ball. You know, I really can't. As I'm getting older as a trader, I can't stand people saying, "Oh, I knew this was gonna happen." Usually, I'd like to know where's this crystal ball so I can buy one. I just know, hey, this market's in a bearish phase here, so let's take advantage of that. Now, right at the pivot on a MYM, I wouldn't be selling here, and there's a lot of pivots coming up too. Got the low of the day, another pivot here. So we could see a little bit of a pullback here before we go lower, but we can just, you can just let me know how you doing today as far as trade, as things are going for you. Now, do you have any questions, comments? Please let me know in the chat. Here at 202, which is the round number, that's support. So if we were to get there, I think we're gonna move our stop to break even. As a matter of fact, right now, right this second, we could move our stop to. We could reduce our risk here, maybe about 6 ticks. Yeah, instead of the 20. Right now we got about 20 somethings. We got about 23 ticks of risk. Yeah, we're gonna move our stop down to 70, which is 6 ticks of risk instead of the 23 we had. A couple more ticks here, we'll move to break even. As a matter of fact, technically, really, we could move to break even. I'm gonna leave it there for now. But if we see any adverse movement here, we may just close it. There you go. Don't like. And let me know how things are going here. We are in a short early trade here. We are up 5 ticks, and we're risking 6 ticks from. Our risk was originally about 23, so we just reduced it to 6 ticks. Again, we know this market is going to go back and forth here, but if we go and take out this swing, obviously we may not want to be in that trade anymore, even though really the catastrophic stop was up here. But I think because we were so deep into profit, we were up about 13 ticks at one point. So we don't want this to come back and make it a full loss. If it's going to be a loss, again, we're getting some push down here on LE. That's great. Indices here, we're going lower. If you just join us, we took a short on MYM here. I think I closed my workspace without adjusting it. Or maybe it wasn't saved when So my entry was up here at 39,421. We got the first target. We definitely had a lot of, as you can see, my entry was at 420. And the top of this candle, the high of this candle is 419. We got within 1 tick of a stop for the second contract. And then we hit the second target here. Now that's what I'm saying. Right now, that's why I said I wouldn't be going short here. We're going to see a little bit of back and forth over here. We're still bearish. Yeah, it's like the trends are really it's back and forth here. But we caught the short trade at the right time. Timing is kind of everything in trading, like in life. So let's see if we can make a no low here, go toward the 202 handle. If we get to the 202 handle here, we'll probably go lower if we go past this. That's why in these markets I try to trade early here because it's a little definitely less crazy than less noise. I mean, still gonna have some noise, but it's definitely less volatile than like an ES or YM NQ. Forget about NQ. NQ is definitely very, very crazy. Let me look at NQ anyway. Talking about NQ, I didn't look at it at all today. Yeah, it's a big candle. Now we're getting into a support zone here. And then, something I would definitely keep in mind. Yeah, still pushing lower. We lowered. Yeah, we're still pushing lower in the indices. Still pushing lower. Let's look at the order flow here on screen. We're getting the sellers are getting aggressive a little bit. As you can see at the bottom of this candle here, we had some sellers. Hopefully they're not getting trapped here. But as you can see, earlier as a whole, the cumulative delta is negative, and the deltas of the last few bars have been negative. Let's wait and see here. 47. So if we can get another tick below here, 20 at 202.20, we're gonna form a new bar. And I think at that point, going to break even, it's not something that, because we got within one tick of that. At this point is, if this cannot go lower, I think we're gonna move down to break even here. We should move down to break even at 55. So we had break even here. It's free trade. And this is still going lower. Okay. Yeah, break even on early here. Free trade. Let's see what happens. Yes, we had a support zone on the 3 minutes. So that's why we bounced at 90 here. So let's see. Well, this is already a 9-point bounce. You definitely need to adjust for this volatility. Stop that used to be 5, now it needs to be 15. If you used to have a 5-point stop on the ES, you need to have a 15-point stop now. Things are just triple on you. That means you probably have to trade. If you used to trade 1 mini, now you should be able to trade 3 micros. Things are just at least triple when it comes to the volatility as far as stop size. Again, like I said, I used to get away with 20 tick stop. It's more like 60, Definitely got to adjust. It looks like we're pushing lower here on LE. Still kind of back and forth, but I think if we get below 202, I have a good chance of getting to our target. Again, today is more like a Friday, so I would say weird things happen in the market. Yes, it looks like it wants to bounce, but again, if you're scalping here, let's say you had the order at 90, because the low on this candle is 89.25. You got an entry here right on top of the zone. You definitely made a good 8-9 points. If you're scalping, 8-9 points now right now in ES is kind of scalping because we have such a big range. Because if I squeeze my chart on the other screen here, let me see where I don't have to even. Let me go to the 30-minute ES over here. Squeeze already move. Let me see what's our range for today. Our range is 300, over 300 points. That's 75 points. More than 75 points. Again, if you bought at 90, right now you're definitely sweating because they're coming for your stop if you're at break even. I said, I wasn't trusting this bounce. It's more like a reprieve. People took some profit. Also, because there was a fair value gap, people say, hey, I'm going to try to buy here and get a few points. I think that's what happened here in the ES. That's what's happening right now. So a new low is definitely can happen at any time now. Go back and look at the order flow. Yeah, no low can happen at any time. I think as traders, the biggest thing we gotta realize, we gotta trust what the market is telling us. Because a lot of times we have our opinions, we have our thoughts, we have what we think is gonna happen, we have our biases, and we want to stick with them because we don't want to betray. We feel like we're betraying ourselves if we don't go with our guts. And sometimes our guts could be not telling us the truth. We gotta recognize that and say and take what the market is saying and telling us over what we're feeling. Because right now this market was telling us, hey, we're going lower. This is just a little bounce. Like a little bounce in in a market like this, all you need to be doing, make money, is short those rallies. It's a down market. You short the rallies. Every time the market trying to go higher, you should try to short it. So if LE can get to a target, it cannot go to a target, but it will be a free trade. And that'll be that. And let's see if I do with this LE trade here, either a break even or a win here, we're gonna probably end the stream because again, we should consider today as a Friday. But people are, a lot of people are away from the market at the moment. I can see the volume, probably less volume than normal. 8, 9 ticks right now. Definitely to trade early, you gotta have a new level of patience. You gotta develop a lot of patience. I think trading in general, you need to have quite a bit of patience to trade successfully because the money is made in the waiting. But right now, we're looking at early here. It's kind of ranging back and forth here. It may come back and tag us out where stop is at 55. And if that happens, that'll be a trade for the day. 2 more ticks here. 1 more tick will be out, which is fine in our book because I'm following my plan. Okay. So break even trade. Definitely could have been worse here. This market is ranging. Doesn't look like he wants to pick a position here now. ES is bouncing higher here. Now this bounce could be something to think about because there you go. See how LE just jumped? Definitely would have tagged us out for a loss. So that's a good thing. We had a stop at break even here. Sometimes there's a guy that I used to listen to in the early days of trading. He used to say, celebrate your losses, celebrate your stop loss. Your stop loss. When your stop loss get hit, you should celebrate because that's a indication that, hey, this market, if your stop loss is at a place that it should be, that means you even though it's a loss, let's say this particular one was a break even, but let's say it was a loss, that would tell me, hey, I was on the wrong side of the market. I get to cut my losses short. And you hear this all the time as a cliche. Let your profits run and cut your losses short. This is so true. Like right now, what we're doing here in LA, it looks like we're visiting the VWAP. And remember my stop was at 70, so this was a 60 loss on 3 contracts. It's not the end of the world, but we avoided that loss here. Just paid for the commissions. I think what Ellie's doing here, they were trying to close this gap, but they're not gonna close it. It looks like, or are they? Typically, really, I wouldn't want to be buying here at this resistance level until maybe we make a new high for the day. And by that time, it's probably already would be chasing it. So, with that said, I think we're gonna pack our toys and go home here. And happy trading. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your time with your family and your loved ones. You just celebrate Easter. Definitely happy Easter. We'll see you guys in about, about 11 days because we're gonna get back streaming on the 28th. Because next week we'll be away. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for sharing this channel with your friends and traders and aspiring traders. We're trying to build something here where people can come in and look at the market together. When we have more than one set of eyes on the market, typically some things you may not see somebody else is seeing. Again, to me, if I were to be trading this again, that would be a short, but at the same time, I think what's happening here could be the double pullback. They're doing did it here. It did kind of work here. 75, you go down to 27. That's all. Base 25. That's like 40. I mean, this is a half a handle, which is 20 ticks. So it wasn't too bad. So with that said, we're gonna call it a day here. See you guys in about 11 days. God bless. Take care. Bye bye.